Welcome to Inside the Ring, boxing's official show of record. I am your host, Max Kellerman, and joining me to my right, making his return appearance on this show, longtime contender in and around the middleweight division, beloved native son of the great city of Philadelphia.
That's right.
Gabe Rosado.
Yeah, man, glad to be back, man.
Glad to have you.
Yeah.
To my left, a man who's not beloved by Philadelphia or any other city for that matter, Ring Magazine senior insider Mike Coppinger. And to Mike's left, another man who is beloved by Philly, former all-decade NFL running back LaShawn Shady McCoy. We are coming to you very live from Los Angeles. It's time for the lead hook. We start with the ring high stakes and the main event. Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios. Guys, Ryan's our guy.
Yes, he is.
He's been on this show as a panelist, and he is unusually talented. So we are rooting for our guy, guys. But at least I am. But we see him posting videos with influencers to his social. He's back training with his dad. He posts videos in his garage and living room. He's giving Rocky from Rocky 3 before the first Clubber fight. I'm not saying Barrios is Clubber Lang, but are we worried even if Barrios isn't Clubber Lang? Cop, let's start with you.
You have to be a little worried, Max. I mean, we saw what Rolly Romero, Shady's favorite, did to Ryan Garcia last May in Times Square. You know, Ryan was like a deer in the headlights, and I was actually with Ryan at his training camp in Calabasas on Thursday. Ryan said, look, when I fought Rolly, I didn't even want to be there. I had a really high mountain to climb. I knew I was 30 pounds overweight. I hadn't fought in a year. I was coming off suspension. He said, I knew I was going to lose. To me, he's confident right now. He was already 149 on Saturday. The living room stuff does give me pause.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's like when Rocky and he kisses. Can I have a kiss? And Mickey's like, he ain't gonna kiss you. He's gonna kill you, right? Like, come on, man, you can't.
Right.
Like, it just doesn't. You know, he looks good. He looks like he's in shape. Ryan is like, Gabe, you're a talented fighter, right? But then there's like, Ryan is unusually talented. When you put your eyes on him, do you see unusual talent, speed and power?
Absolutely, but it's just he lacks the discipline.
Right.
And when you're fighting a guy like Barrios who is disciplined, he's a little boring. I mean, Barrios really doesn't, he's not charismatic or nothing like that. He's not like Ryan, but he's disciplined. And he has Goose in his corner for this fight, which is going to add a lot to Barrios because he knows the errors that Ryan makes. He knows Ryan personally. So that's a plus for Barrios.
For
it's
sure.
dangerous for Ryan.
Well, one thing about Ryan Garcia that we all know is that he's always trying to trick somebody. So he might show videos in the kitchen with his dad, YouTubers, this, that, but he might really be training. And I've been talking to Ryan, and Ryan seems focused. His weight's on the right, like Mike just talked about. And I think he's hungry. Coming from the fight with Devin Haney, right, and that didn't go the right way for him, right? He got suspended, et cetera. Then you fight Rolly, who most people bet their life savings on that he would win that fight, and he lost. He's got to come back and look good and win. I think Ryan knows that.
What do you think when you see him posting those videos? You've been in the game a long time. You're a throwback Philly fighter.
I go by consistency. And when you look how you looked against Rolly, and then this is what you're doing for the next camp, man, it just doesn't make sense. You know
it doesn't sit right.
It doesn't sit right. So when you enter the ring, you're gonna have those questions where you're like, man, should I have done that? Did I play around too much? Did I put the work in? Those questions are gonna kick in, and you're going to a guy that's a champion who's.
But we are in a new era though, right? It's new system players, new system fighters.
One thing, I don't care what era it is, the ring will always expose the truth.
So what do you say now?
No matter what era.
He was cheating against Haney, so I get that. But he was drinking fake beer. He was doing all this crazy. I'm like, yo, there's no way he gonna win this fight. If I told you how much I bet on that fight, you wouldn't believe me. But I can show you.
And how much?
I don't want to. My mom's probably watching. I don't want to say how much. Mike knows.
I know, it's a scary amount.
Yeah, but
it's more than I have to bet.
Anyway, what I'm saying is, like, he had everybody believing. I'm like, there's no way he can win. He's drinking beer. He's doing all this crazy stuff. He's acting crazy. And he came to the fight, and he won.
Well, yeah, this is what it brings up. So he is doing this stuff for sure. We can see him doing it, right? I'm not talking about drinking beer, but just like fooling around in the living room. But that doesn't mean he's not also doing the things he needs to do to prepare, right? But what I'm asking is, there's the physical preparation, which he might be doing. But then the thing that rubs you the wrong way about this is it's like, but is your mind serious enough. But on the other hand, some guys need to be loose like that.
Yeah,
Where do you come out on all of that?
I just think I'm going by consistency. So we know what we get when he's acting this way. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't feel comfortable with him going into this fight. I'm favoring him because I think he's the much better fighter. But when you're going against a guy that is disciplined and has Goosen in his corner,
do you think any of
I
this
think you have to get a little more serious.
like if he was fighting Shakur or someone like that, you would think he would be a little more serious. Is this commentary on Barrios, right? That Ryan's looking at Barrios, and you can speak to this maybe, Mike, and he says he's just not on my level. Or is this kind of just part of the influencer lifestyle, right? Like you turn your whole life into
both.
content.
Yeah.
And is the influencer lifestyle even compatible with optimizing your boxing talent?
Yeah, that's a great point, Max. And I actually was with Barrios on Saturday in Vegas, and you talk about juxtaposition. You know, Barrios has his home. He's chill, like Gabe said. He's not the most exciting guy, but he's very focused, very disciplined, and he knows how big this fight is for him too. You know, he's coming off of 2 back-to-back draws, Abel Ramos and Manny Pacquiao. He got mocked for fighting Manny Pacquiao and having a draw. Pacquiao at 45.
Barrios, no?
Maybe 46, yeah. But Barrios, right? He's a better fighter, I think, than he's given credit for. You know, he gave Keith Thurman a lot of trouble. He gave Gervonta Davis a lot of trouble, and he has experience now of 3 major headline fights.
And this is what's interesting about boxing, Shady. And I know, like, I talked to you about this because you were a specially gifted athlete.
Wait, whoa, I'm still am.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm saying when you were in your prime in the NFL, if you were still in your prime, you'd still be in the NFL. But the point is, I'm not talking about compared to me. I mean compared to. But you could see other running backs, and they're good. A lot of running backs are interchangeable. That's a B plus. And then Shady McCoy and a couple other dudes were just faster. They were better. Their feet were better. They could spin. Like everything you did was on an elite level. That's Ryan Garcia in terms of pure talent.
Right. Yeah.
And Barrios is not that. He
not.
just doesn't have the quicks. He doesn't have the power. But there is something about a full contact sport like football or a combat sport like boxing where Steady Eddie, the dude who's about it, can sometimes overcome
and
that.
Smart. I think discipline matters in all sports, right? And smart, how smart he is. But you know what scares me about Ryan Garcia is I think sometimes he might look for something that's comfortable. So now you're training back with your dad. And it ain't like you start with your dad and then you had other great coaches, right? You had a couple of them. And then now you with your pops. And I feel like sometimes like, it's easier and it's comfortable for me. So now if I'm doing something that a trainer might not like, my dad's going to be cool with that. Because we're starting to see a lot of these trainers with the pops. Like, look, pops, give it up.
I love that shade. This is something my late great brother Sam used to talk about with me. He was like, we talk about the discomfort zone.
Yeah.
In your profession, especially in athletics, especially in a sport like boxing, the more, by the way, this goes for a kid in school, right?
Yes.
The more time you spend in the discomfort zone, the better your situation is. And the more comfortable you want to be.
No, that's true. Growth comes from it. Being uncomfortable in camp, being forced to have to do certain things that you don't want to do. That's what develops the skill set come the day of the fight. So, Ryan, like Shady said, he's with his father, it's too comfortable. And it's like Barrios is going to make it a rugged fight. He may not be the most skillful fighter, but he's going to make it a tough fight.
Try to make it uncomfortable.
And fundamentals win fights in the sense of Barrios, he doesn't have all these special assets, right? But he does have a good jab. He has a good 1-2. He has good stamina. He has good conditioning. So he has all the attributes to
But Ryan going to win his fight, though.
Speaking of Ryan, our informant.
I don't know.
He going to win his fight.
I like Ryan, but I don't know.
You're on the fence.
Really
you say Ryan.
I think Ryan's going to win this fight.
Our
for
informant
sure.
here caught up with Ryan and asked his prediction, among other things. Check it out.
High Stakes, the Ring Magazine. Give us a prediction. What's going to happen?
A prediction? Man. 8, 9, 10.
8, all right.
8, 9, 10.
I think that sounds. I'm going round 8.
I like that. 8, 9, 10.
I think round 8 is
That feels good.
Feels good, yeah.
Yeah, it feels good for a real fight. We're gonna get to it. And Barrios is one of those guys. He'll get cracked and he'll keep trying to fight. So.
But look, you're one of the best finishers in boxing. Like, I know you didn't finish Devin Haney, but you had him drowned.
Ref saved him. I should have knocked him. I just didn't have the conditioning.
I think it still bothers you, huh?
Yes, because I should have knocked him out in that 11th. Man, I was playing around too much, and I was like, ha ha. Like, bro, But next time, that next time, buddy, you won't have a next time. I'm finishing you. You will never box again if we fight again, and you know that. And I have vowed to that. If we fight again, you will never box again. I promise you that.
Yeah, I gotta tell you something.
Okay.
I'm looking at Ryan's face. I think Ryan's a 54-pounder. Even at 47, he looks gaunt to me. Like, I hate the day before weigh-in. Let me just tell everyone about this real quick, catch people up in the history of this. They went to day before weigh-ins because fighters were drying out day of weigh-ins, right? You weigh in, you dry out, you weigh in, you make weight, and then you rehydrate, and they thought it was dangerous. So it was well-intentioned to move it a day before so they have time to rehydrate. But all it did was have fighters cut more weight to fight in even smaller divisions for a so-called weight advantage, and then they'd hydrate more. No one's fighting in the right division anymore. Look at Ryan's face there. We know Ryan in personal life. He's a big kid. To me, he should already be at 54.
Yeah, Max, I actually had dinner with a few boxing insiders on Friday in Vegas, and we were all talking about it. Like, Ryan's a guy that could easily fight at middleweight. And 54, he's a big guy. You know, Mario Barrios is another one. He was fighting at 122. Look at the size of Mario Barrios. So
Ridiculous.
I think all of these guys, and Gabe Rosado knows about this, these old school trainers, they all want you to shrink down as much as possible so you have the size advantage in theory. And it all leads back to...
In Philadelphia, when I first turned pro, we actually, in Philadelphia, the rule, I think they changed the rule, but it was, the weigh-in was the day of the fight.
Yeah, and no one used to miss weight. By the way, no one used to miss weight.
The day of the fight to take away that where it's unhealthy for fighters to just deplete themselves.
What about the like rehydrating again? Is that
you have to fight true to your weight then?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but you do it like, what is it, 8-10 pounds maybe, something like that?
So I would make the 54-pound division, and then come fight time, I'll probably go up to like maybe 62.
Oh, that's pretty smart.
Right, 62.
Yeah.
From 54 to 62. Now, if you're fighting at 54, what are these fighters coming in at?
Oh, yeah, you're coming in as a super middleweight.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's too
crazy.
much.
I bet you Ryan Garcia is going to be like, what, 165, 166, something like that?
Ryan,
He got a big frame, though. He got a big frame. Yes, he do.
Ryan is
And he got a nice height.
Ryan's mesomorphic. He's not an ectomorph, right?
Yeah.
But his face looks dry.
He's
Now,
tall. He's tall.
He's tall too. Yeah.
All right, so he says he's going to retire Devin Haney, okay?
Debo.
Is Ryan focused on Barrios?
I say yes, and the only reason I say that is he knows this is the last chance saloon, so to speak. You can't lose to Rolly Romero and then lose to Mario Barrios. At that point, you're an opponent, you're a B-side. Ryan Garcia should never be a B-side. He has to win this fight, and not just win it, Max. He has to do it in an explosive fashion. Let's be real.
By the way, I expect him to. I think that Ryan has a certain level of talent that is, he has extraordinary physical gifts, right? I don't think he has the most educated feet. I've told Ryan, that's why I liked Tank Davis.
I think that's Kynes.
I think that's why I took Tank. I think if Ryan's feet matched his hands, really, really tough. But he does have special talent, and if he's 80% of himself, I don't think Barrios can handle it.
That's my thing. Like, what is the challenges, Gabe? I ask you this: what that Barrios can challenge Ryan with? Because he's not super fast. He's just disciplined.
Yeah.
He reminds me of a fighter that just does everything right.
What Barrios could do is a disciplined game plan, basics, fundamentals, jab. As Max said, Ryan has his feet are a little all over the place.
Right.
So when he's doing that, take a step back. It's not like Barrios doesn't have to stay in the pocket and be dodging and weaving and doing all that extra stuff. He can just take a step back when Ryan tries to set up a big shot.
I just watched, like, the couple fights I did watch that I really love is guys that are faster hands, that are faster, is quicker, more twitcher. He has trouble with. The truth.
But he's a good body puncher.
He is, but I'm saying, like even Keith Thurman, like you said Keith Thurman, I didn't think that Keith was in a tough fight for him. I thought Keith was
No, that's not. Barrios did very well down the stretch.
All I'm
down
saying
to
is
like 10, 11, 12, Barrios did very well.
I thought that Keith, if I had to bet on that, I knew Keith was going to win. And then when the fight was over, he won. He was quicker. He's moving around. So even Tank smaller, but quicker dudes, it seems like they give him more trouble.
But one thing I want to add is even though he fought an old Pacquiao, he fought a legend, a GOAT.
Yeah,
There's things that Pacquiao did in that fight that Barrios is gonna take, because you learn when I fought guys like Golovkin and things like that. Man, of course it made me a better fighter. I lost the fight bad, but it made me a better fighter because I learned. That jab, man, that jab was snappy, or damn, that feint, and you pick those things up, and then you go to the gym and you work on it. So Barrios is definitely gonna add certain qualities.
I guess
in a
you have to watch
knockout.
Shady,
guy
the
than
other thing
Watson.
is when you say, well, he's bothered by speed. That's kind of like when someone says, oh, that guy doesn't like it in the body. No one likes it in the body,
Yeah.
and everyone's bothered by speed. Now you can overcome speed with timing,
Right time, right time,
You know,
right.
unless the faster guy also has good timing, then
Right.
what do? Right? This is one of the athletic advantages that Ryan Garcia brings to a fight, to most fights, that is very difficult to overcome.
Yeah.
But he looked like, what I'm saying is like, with the speed guys, he looked hesitant.
Yeah.
The pull the trigger, he seemed hesitant because he got so much faster than him.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
In the co-main, Richardson Hitchens takes on
he's nice.
Oscar Duarte. This is a division that at the moment includes the potential for big fights with the champion, Shakur Stevenson, who's the champion because he just beat the champion, Teofimo Lopez. So I don't know about belts and all this. I know who the champion of the division is.
No, the guy
and
is.
right now it's
Right.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
By the way, top contenders, Keyshawn Davis, Dalton Smith. What kind of obstacle, Mike Coppinger, is Duarte for Hitchens?
He's a major, major obstacle. I mean, do not sleep on Oscar Duarte. I know a lot of people saw him only against Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia knocked him out.
Yeah.
And he did give Ryan Garcia some trouble.
He did.
But if you didn't watch his last fight in August against Kenny Sims, Duarte was damn good in that fight. He's relentless. He's strong. He's a great pressure fighter. And this is like probably my favorite style clash in boxing. You have the boxer mover in Richardson Hitchens and the relentless pressure fighter in Duarte.
And by the way, just when you say, well, he got knocked out by Ryan, pressure fighters, like the style, the rock, paper, scissors is Frazier gives Ali a hard time because the volume punching
Yeah.
pressure
The volume,
fighter
yeah,
can
right.
overtax your defense. Ali gives Foreman a hard time because the boxer can outbox the one punch knockout. But the pressure fighter against the knockout puncher, tough for the pressure fighter because to get inside, he has to go through that danger zone, right? A guy like Duarte against Garcia, not a great matchup
Right.
for him.
But what I like about Duarte, especially against Hitchens, and I think Gabe will agree, is Duarte knows how to make it ugly on the inside.
That's
You know,
true.
he's tough and rumble. He'll throw elbows if he has to. He'll lean on him.
And Hitchens doesn't punch like Ryan.
No, he doesn't.
Right.
Of course not. So.
But he jabs great.
Yes, he does.
He grabs. He's long. He punches well. Jabs well, and he's gonna grab him. I don't know if this is gonna be a super competitive fight. Just because Oscar's gonna be there to be hit. He ain't gonna get. He's not missing nobody. He's gonna be there to get hit.
You're right, and it depends on how much he can take. But again, the high volume punching pressure fighter against the boxer without a ton of power usually does pretty well because, hey, I made you miss, I made you miss, I made you miss. And the pressure fighter's like, I don't care if you made me miss 3, here's another 5. Right?
I like Hitchens. I like him.
And one thing I want to add really quick is, what better preparation can you get for Hitchens than fighting a guy like Kenny Sims, who can box, who can move, and
That's a
Duarte
good
did
point.
damn good against him, especially over the second half of that fight.
So we've also got Gary Antoine Russell
Ooh, another one.
versus Andy Hiroka. Russell's coming off a dominant win over the very good Jose Valenzuela,
good fight.
who, by the way, is a southpaw and can box like Hiroka. But we had Gary on the show last week, and this is no knock on Russell, okay? Hiroka is good. He's good, and he shouldn't be overlooked. And maybe it's guys like me talking to Gary Antoine Russell, asking him, hey, what's next, and this and that. And he's indulging us by actually answering the question. But it's not impossible that he could be overlooking this fight. Like, I get the sense that's not impossible. This is a good fighter he's fighting.
This is a really quality fight, too. Andy Hiroka, again, very
Solid.
good fighter, a lot of good experience in Japan, has some power, good fundamentals. And Gary Russell, you never know what guy's going to show up. You know, we saw the way he looked against Pitbull Cruz, right?
Yep.
So,
And I think about Valenzuela, who's a slick southpaw, but maybe doesn't.
sorry, Alberto Puello, I apologize.
Yeah, Puello, yeah. Who maybe doesn't pop, right? So if you got a guy who can pop and box from long range as a southpaw, maybe that's a little different.
And one thing, Hiroka, he's technical. He has a nice step back where he takes the step back and hits you with that left uppercut or the straight left. Gary Antoine. He's a pressure fighter. He kind of reminds me of Sean Porter.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
Yep.
he breaks you down with volume, but I think sometimes he throws himself a little too forward, and that could be a key for Andy to do that step back with the uppercut.
It's a good fight, man.
Yeah, it's a really good fight.
It's a really. This is again.
Pressure guy and a technical guy.
No doubt. And I'll point out again how simple it is, Ring Magazine, right? When you see what's Hitchens is second or third ranked?
It's number 2.
Number two,
yeah,
and Hiroka's what, 10?
Yep.
You got 2 top 10 guys. And what that means is it's not top 10 in this sanctioning body or that sanctioning body. It's on the planet Earth. they consider everybody. And they go, everyone boxing in this weight class, here are the top 11 guys, the champion and the top 10 contenders. This is number 2 versus number 10. It's a rough
I do
match.
think they wired a little different, right? The Russell family, just because, like you talk about overlooking. I don't think they overlook nobody. Just the way they talk, their mannerisms, the way the brothers talk, the way Antoine talk. I don't think they looking for let's keep wins. And they want Shakur. They want the top dogs. But they're going to earn their right to get there.
Gary Antoine Russell's easy to root for.
Right, and
For sure.
And again, I mistakenly said Pitbull. I meant Puello, but Puello is a very good boxer. And we saw. I mean, Russell, that fight was not competitive. I mean, Alberto Puello won going away in that
I knew
fight.
who you meant.
Yeah, we got you.
All right. For those watching on YouTube, head over to DAZN to catch the rest of the show. Coming up, our secret agent, 008, licensed to spill. Ransom Recon. You get to hear all about it. You don't even need to know the secret password. This is Inside the Ring.
You got like 12 passports, huh?